All right, after you've plotted all of your points, what you've done here and what you've been doing all along is plotting points on a 1-by-1 scale coordinate plane. That means that every box along the x and every box along the y, you're counting by ones. Which leads to now this question. If I gave you the coordinates 18 and 5, or 18, 5, would you be able to fit this on this coordinate plane, yes or no?
No.
No. Okay? And that's kind of what the gist of lesson 8 is all about. If you now go to example 2, everybody do that on the next page. You're going to come to your first example where you can't necessarily count by ones in both directions. So what you have to do, again, like you did in the example 1, before we start anything, we got to make a coordinate plane. Exactly split your quadrants. Split your coordinate plane into 4 equal quadrants. So do that now, and then I'll come back here. After you're done making your axes, take a look at your ordered pairs that you have to plot. And let's just first look at all of the x's. I'm going to circle them up here so we can see them. We have a -4, -3, 1, 6, and 9. Can you still count by ones?
No. No. Oh, yes.
Just look at the x coordinates.
Oh, yeah.
Will counting by ones fit everything?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we can count by ones for the x. Okay, now look at your y's. Considerably larger, right? 20, 35, -35, 10, and -40. Can you count by ones?
No.
What should you count by?
5.
Fives would work. So we now have an interval of a 1/5. Okay, I'm just going to plot 1 point because you are going to do the rest on your own. Okay, that's kind of what your activity is for today. But let me show you how to plot it. Starting at 0, 0, I've got to go to -420. All right, -4, what direction, left or right? And counting by how much? -1, -2, -3, -4 is here so far. And then I've got to go to what y coordinate? Counting by up, down, left or right? 5, 10, 15, 20. Make a dot. Put your letter A next to it. And then you would do that for the remaining points, but I don't want you to do it just yet. Okay, let's go to example 2. At my advance now, if you guys just want to go, now you see what the gist is of the lesson. Every example has a different interval. You've got to try to figure it out, okay? For everybody else, let's just look at example 3. I'm not going to have you actually draw your coordinate plane just yet. All I want you to do is look at your coordinates and tell me what to count by for each axis. Look at it. Look at all of your x's. Look at all of your y's, because you don't have to necessarily count by the same number for each axis. They can be different. All right, who wants to take a stab at this? What should you count your x's by? It's a little tricky, but it's doable. Krista. 0.1 or a 1/10 would work. Okay? 0.1. What about your y? Ryan? Yep, it'll work. Ones will still work for y. Go to example 4. Sure, but it takes time because it's a drawing of axes and plotting of points where you do have to be careful. All right, let's just do this one together and tell me what you should count by. And your hint is neither x nor y, neither one of them will be 1. Kelly, you want to try the x?
2.
Yeah, 2 will work. What about the y? Jack, you think you got it? I'll circle it just so we can see it. You have a 2, 0.5,
Yeah.
3.5, or negative 3.5,
Right.
2.5,
Oh!
3.5, negative 4. Antonio,
I forgot it.
0.5. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We have like a little. It's called a pass-fail game. Every time you finish an example, a coordinate plane, you have to go back to example 2, and you got to do the rest of the points. Every time you finish, you need to hop on the line and check it with me. I don't have any answer keys hanging up. I want to see every single one. Okay. I'm gonna check it. If it's a pass, you go on to example 3. It's like climbing the rungs of a ladder. Sit for a minute. Okay. If you fail, you got to go back and fix it before you can go on to the next one. All right? And you can group up if you want. Okay? First thing you got to do is you have to make a perfect coordinate plane, otherwise it's going to be wrong. Okay? All right, go for it.